Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully complete our check mark, right? That means that is completed. We successfully complete this part. Now in this video, I want to do local storage that have some of the data, right? So this all the data now I want to do and to get it, and here I want to visible it. Okay, that means right now there is static data is visible. Now I want to do and to get our this all the data. So if you want to get it, is very easy. All that process we have to do in our UI. Okay, into this UI area, I want to create another prototype. Better here. Okay, after this, I want to create another prototype. That is our UI. So after this, I want to name it as a UI. Okay, that was UI, and into this UI area, I want to declare another prototype name, and I just name it as a show. Okay, show all task. So this type of one of the prototype I simply created, and that will be as a function. I hope you already remember that part. That is our function. So into this function area, first of all, we have to get it, right? I have already get all the data. If you go to our local storage, into this local storage, I have created another prototype as a fetch task. So with this fetch task, I get all the data, and here I return this task. Right, so that is our return task. Now we are able to access it. So if you want to access it in our UI, then simple, I take one of the variable and I just name it as a task. So I name it as a task, and into this task area, that is in our local storage. So into this local storage, I want to do and to access our method as a fetch task. Okay, I simply loaded this method. I have already created our local storage, one of the object. I take the things with this variable. Now we are with this variable, we are able to access our local storage, one of the prototype method as a fetch task. Now I simply load it. Okay, I hope everything is very clear. So now I have already fetched all the data. So this data I want to display in particular this div. Okay, here that is div means if you go to our index HTML, you can see that is actually our task, right? So that is our task div that is started from here, that is ended. So now I want to load our this div. So if you want to load it, is very easy, all that process. I hope you already know about it. So that I first of all I take one of the empty air string. Okay, I name it as a new HTML. I name it as a new HTML, and here I declare one of the empty string. Okay, into this empty string area, all that our fetch data I want to insert. So if you want to do that work, that will be here with this task, right? With this task we get all the data. Now I want to add that as a for each, because that will be loop all that one by one data. So I make it as a for each. Okay, for each. So into this for each, here I pass that parameter as a task. Okay, I pass this task, and into this task area I loaded our array function. And now I want to do one by one that will be added, right? So that is a new all that HTML object. I have already created one of the empty string. In here I want to add one by one all the data, right? So but I use that as a backtick. I simply loaded this backtick. Okay, so into this backtick area, now I want to load our this div. Okay, so I simply select it. You can see that is started and that is our ended div. So now I want to copy all the div. I copy it. Now in our UI, in our this backtick area, here I want to paste it. Okay, simple. So that is our backtick started and then backtick ended. Okay, I put some of the semicolon and also add that semicolon. Great. So now that is our div. This div now I want to do and to load, right? So right now that is all that our static data. Like here we have to add that as a ID, and then there is our title. So first of all I want to display the title. If you go to our task, into this task, you can see there is the ID property, title, and then the is complete. So now to display this title, if you want to display it, and then here what exactly you have to do, I think you already know about it. So that will be as a $sign, right? First of all, there is a $sign, and then that will be as a curly bracket. Into this curly bracket, right now in our for each, I have passed that parameter as a task. Every data right now into this task, right? I make it as a task. Okay, task, and into this task area I want to access this title. Okay, now our title should be display, right? So for the checkbox, if you go to the our task, there is also another property as is complete, right? So here I have already added some of the condition. It will be check that will be false or not, right? Or when it will be false, then that will be as a true, rather than that will be as a again false. Right now that is our property. I want to do when That means this, or if you want to add any task, if this task is already one of the is completed as a true, then that will be as a selected, right? So here I want to add this condition. I want to add another condition in here. Okay, that means in our input field. If you want to do that work, what exactly you have to do, that will be a $sign and then the curly bracket area. So right now every data in our task, right? So into this task, with this task I want to access our property name as a is complete. Okay, when this is complete, that means when that will be as a selected, then that I want to do, then that will be as a then, and then I want to make it as a, there is another attribute as a checked. Okay, checked, then that will be as a checked, and else it will be as a empty. Okay, so I simply loaded this condition. I hope, friend, it's very much clear to you. And now also I want to do, that is our ID, right? ID will be same here, that will be the $sign, and then into the curly bracket, that will be as a task, and with this task that will be our ID. Okay, here if you go, there is our name, ID, title, and is complete. Great. Our ID will be visible, and then also here I have already discussed about that things with you. After that task, that means when that will be as a selected, here it's added another class. Remember, as a completed class. If you go here, I have already done this work. You can see there is a new class is added as a completed, right? Now I want to add the same condition. Okay, I want to add the same condition here. And that means there is our this condition, but I copy this condition again, I copy it, and now after that task, okay, that should be added another class. So that is our task, and with this task, when that will be is completed, I want to add another attribute class that will be as a completed. Okay, completed class I want to add, so that will be one of the string. Here I want to simply make it one of the string as a completed. Okay, I simply added this string. So when that will be as a completed, then that will be as a updated one of the class name as a completed, else it will be as a empty. Okay, I make it as a empty. Great. So that's all you have to do. I hope, friend, you get this ideas. It's very easy. One of the condition when our is completed will be as a completed, then our that will be added on the class name as a completed, else that is our else, and then that will be as a empty. Great. And right now here, that is our dev, right? That is our task dev, and now we have to add this task dev in our another mother. You can see that is our task list. Here we have to add it, right? So if you want to add it, I have already do a lot of work like that, like here. Okay, after this I want to do here, that will be, first of all, we have to get this our class name, right? So that will be as a document, and then into this document with this query selector, and with this query selector I want to get this our class name here, that is what? That is the task list, because into this class here we have to add this dev, right? I have already get this dev. Now we have to add this, that is our total dev. We have to add it in our this class dev area, right? So simple work. That is our class name. I copy it, and now I want to add this class name, right? And then we have to add this with the inner, that will be inner HTML. That is inner HTML, and our inner HTML will be our which one? Inner HTML will be our, I have already get our total dev with our this is empty string as a new HTML. So now that will be our new HTML. Great. So I hope every part is very much clear to you. So now that is our prototype, right? That is a prototype as a show all tasks. Now this prototype, when that will be loaded, when this page will be refreshed, then here it's for the first time that will be loaded, right? For the reasons in our index.js, and into this index.js, that is our UI. Okay, after this here I want to load it. So I have already created one of the object for the UI. Now with this UI I want to load our this method. That means this prototype I simply loaded. Okay, friend, now that should be loaded first time. Now click as a save all. Now go to our page. Now refresh it. Now you can see, now there is our 3 data. So there is this is a new one, there is a new one, and there is add. So all the data now is successfully visible in here, So right now if you refresh it, you can see all the data is the same. And if you also check it, like I check mark it and also I check mark both of these. So right now our status should be updated as is completed as a true, and that is also true. And now if you refresh it, now you can see it's not become changed. Everything is updated successfully. Okay. Right now everything is great. That means everything is working from our local host. I hope friend every part is very much clear to you. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.